In 2019, I got the job as choreographer for the Lifetime movie event, the biopic on Salt and Pepa. It was a great job, had a great time. I worked with some fantastic people, three of which were the three stars of the film, or three of the stars of the film, which are Gigi Townson, who plays Salt, Layla Odom, who plays Pepa, and Monique Paul, who plays Spinderella. We worked together closely for a few months and just thought, why not talk to them, talk about the experience, talk about where they're going, talk about where they've been, just for you to get more insight on these three talented, beautiful, and really great ladies. So I'm here with the beautiful and talented and sweet Gigi Townson, who I had the pleasure of working with on the Salt and Pepa biopic, which will debut on Lifetime on January 23rd. We've been waiting, doing research on you, and I know that your grandfather was part of the fifth dimension, which is, there's a lineage there. You played Stella on the Bounce TV show, The Cut. You have another film coming out.
Yes.
Which is The Welcome Mat. And I'm not going to say anymore because certain things I want you to say yourself. Now you're the lead in Salt and Pepa, long awaited. People are waiting to see this. First thing I want to ask you is, where did you grow up? Tell me where you're from. And we'll go from there.
So I grew up in LA, LA baby, born and raised in Inglewood, where we're up to no good.
And what got you started in the industry, being an actress?
Well, I feel like as a child, I'd always had a really great imagination. I would express to my mom, like, oh, I want to, be on TV. There wasn't one specific thing that I watched, or like there wasn't one specific person that I was like, oh, I want to be like, them, but I just wanted to perform in any capacity. So she went to my grandfather and was like, hey, G said that she wants to do this. I don't know where to go from here. I have no idea about the industry, la la la. So he had introduced me when I was 7. He introduced me and my mom to his agent, who was Sid Levine. And Sid didn't have kids on his roster, but he had just signed me as a favor to my grandfather, just, to see what could happen. And then I booked a Disney job. That was my first job. It was a Disney commercial. It seemed like once you got your foot in the door with Disney, they just kept using you. So that was great. That was a great little run. And then, I started getting guest appearances here and there. And then, life happened.
Sure.
And yeah.
What kind of training or education did you have to prepare you for this career, if any? Or what do you think helped you educationally, if there was something that did?
Right. So before I got into acting, I was dancing at a company, California Dance Center.
You never told me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And Layla have these little secrets. Go ahead. I want to keep going.
So California Dance Center was the company that I was dancing with, and Ted Davis was the director. And we were badass at the time. And then I got into singing. So, I have dance rehearsals, I have singing lessons, I'm training with Andrew McGarry. And so my mom was definitely a chauffeur for a portion of her life. But I feel like all of those things that I did definitely helped shape me as a performer. I just personally think that being in dance first, the structure that you get and the things that you learn from being in a dance company not only translates to just a performer aspect, but a life, principle aspect.
It's discipline. And I will say I'm going to say this honestly, working with you in the rehearsal, it was very evident because you watched, you listened, and you reproduced. A dance background gives you that rigor and that discipline, which a lot of people are not accustomed to. And
Mhm.
that was very obvious, and which made
Mhm.
it my job a lot easier. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
With this, but what keeps you moving? Because we know this business, it does
Mm,
this.
right.
So what grounds you to keep you doing this?
Um, my village, which is me and my family and my
Yeah.
friends, they definitely keep me grounded, but the ability to not pay my mom back,
Hmm.
but you know, pay my mom back
Yeah.
for everything,
Hmm.
you know, is at the forefront of my mind. Like I need to be able to take care of her,
Yeah.
and just a big thank you. And and I don't want that to be confused with, oh, materialistic things are in the forefront, because no, it's not about that. But the sacrifice, we lived in Inglewood and she's driving me to Andrew McGarrian's in Hollywood on a work night and a school night, you feel me, like,
Yeah.
and she had 3 kids.
I know. No,
So I'm
it's that when you have with your mom or your mama or my mama, they used to
mm,
drive me over from Canada to Bloomington Hills, Michigan, 3 times a week, 2 hours to get there for these dance lessons so the boy could train and be prepared. So I
right.
get the
Mhm.
lineage that got you here. So it's almost like paying back. If that, if do you,
Yeah.
that's, yeah, it is. It's paying back. What? So I want to get to Salt and Pepper a little bit.
Mhm.
Well, first reaction, what'd you do when you found out you got the role?
uh I thought my agent was playing with me, because he called and
Yeah.
he was like, "Can I talk to Cheryl?" I said, "Hello?" He said, "Can I talk to Cheryl?" I said, "This is G." I was at work.
You didn't even register, yeah.
It didn't even click. And then he, of course, had to explain himself.
Mhm.
And then I started crying at my desk. There was no one in the office all the time. And then I was like, do I quit now or later? Like, how is this going to work? And then I was like, I have to drop out of class, because I was in class at the time.
Mhm.
Um, so working on my health science degree.
Mhm.
So I was like, crap, I have to withdraw. So now, not only am I going to get a W on my transcripts, because it's past that window of dropping out, with the mark.
Yeah.
I was thinking about all of those things. It wasn't like a, yes, we made it, because I understand too that that can be a fallacy.
Yeah.
Uh, and just I definitely had I feel like more than what most people would assume, but a realistic reaction, because I still had life
Mhm.
going on, and I
Mhm.
had to manage life too.
So I'm going to
You
ask you two questions. One being, first one, what was or is your biggest fear about this project in general? Was, is, what was it? Is,
Mm,
if there is one.
my biggest fear about the project, well, I feel like it's a was now.
Mhm.
It was that people don't receive it from the standpoint of how much hard work and heart
Yeah.
that we put into it. Um, that was it before, but I think now, just based on us doing the press tour, and even Cheryl and Sandy telling everybody how much they sacrificed, and how they'd opened up their hearts and you know old wounds to put into this project. I think with them voicing that, people will receive it a lot better, and not turn their noses up at the fact that, like, oh, it's a Lifetime film, because we all
Yeah.
know about that stigma, and we know how biopics can get messy when the people aren't involved.
Mhm.
So the fact that they were involved, people didn't really know that at first.
Yeah.
So through this press tour, they're letting everybody know, we were the bosses, we signed off on everything, this was our project, don't get it twisted. And that they're telling people, we told our story the way that we wanted it told. and we chose the people and put the people in play that we trusted and believed were the best to tell the story.
Yeah.
So
And
I
who would
think
know better?
that Hmm,
Who would know better than them?
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. So I think that that narrative, or people realizing that now, they'll look at it through different lenses versus the lens of just not knowing anything or not knowing where to place anything. Because negative noise is loud and travels fast.
Yeah.
And it's the thing to do. If it's like people rather have something negative to say than something positive.
Yeah, but that it's the nature of the beast. And as you didn't get this far in this business with the fear.
Hmm.
And people, my mother always said, there's always gonna be somebody who doesn't like you. And now there's more voices that can say, and you didn't get here because of those voices.
Right.
And they're not going to govern the rest of your life if
Right.
you have faith, and I know you
Hmm.
do, in something bigger than yourself. It's like, the work that you put into it. And the one thing I'll say is, with regard to you and Layla, is that you were on it with even hairdos. Wait a minute, this we're doing in this era. This wasn't the hairdo we were supposed to have. Wait a minute, look at these outfits. So if
I
anybody
know.
questions like the work that you put into it, as far as the insight and the knowing the history, you guys were on it and you were
Mhm.
faithful to it. What was the biggest joy of doing this project?
This this is my first,
Yeah.
you know, press tour. I've never experienced this before. The billboard is a first, and my managers always tell me, like, enjoy this first.
Mm-hmm.
The first of this, because it's a first for you here. This
Mm-hmm.
is not the first press tour, but this is the first time you've had a press tour. So enjoy these first,
Yeah.
because there won't be any other firsts like these first.
You've done all these interviews. Is there something
So,
that you want people to know about you that hasn't been asked, or that they don't know?
um, something about me. Um, wow. I
There doesn't have to be an answer. I mean, I'm just curious.
Well, that, for me, it's hard to even think about something about me, because every question has been, you know, how did you tap into her? What did you do to get to her? Um,
Like,
maybe, okay. Something about me is that we I worked my ass off through the entirety of this project. You know, it wasn't easy. There were times where I was on the verge of tears because of, what was going on. I feel like you had to pull me aside a few times, like, let it go, let it go, let it go.
you know,
Like, and I think that that's because I cared.
yeah,
I mean, I'm a caring person, and I cared a lot about this project. Um, yeah, I got emotional.
which is good. I mean, your work ethic to me showed. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm the choreographer. I'm not the director, but your work ethic to me was like, oh, thank God, like that part, like, you know. So you've got this going on, but there's something else that just happened for you.
Yes, so
Right?
I booked All American,
Yeah.
uh, character on All American. Coincidentally, I'm an artist again. So maybe the universe is telling me I need to drop an album.
Well, I heard you sing recently, and I was like, okay. What, I questioned you because I watched his interview, and he asked you to sing. I was like, oh God, I'd hate, like, but I was like, okay, and I was like, wait, and you did it, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you can sing. So I think the sky's the limit, and I have complete faith in you, and you keep connected to you and the things that you want, and it's happening. And bless you.
Thank you.
That's it.